Nestled in a quiet corner of Belgium, away from the vast cemeteries of the Western Front, lies a single grave, isolated, yet deeply symbolic. This is the resting place of Major William Redmond, an Irish nationalist MP who gave his life in the Great War, believing that the trenches could unite a divided Ireland. Born in 1861 in Wexford, Ireland, Willie Redmond was a politician before he was a soldier. For over 30 years he fought for Irish Home Rule, hoping for a future where Ireland would govern itself while remaining within the British Empire. But when war broke out in 1914, he sought another battle to fight, one that he believed he could bring Protestant and Catholic Irishmen together. At 53 years old, far beyond the typical age of a frontline soldier, Redmond joined the 6th Battalion Royal Irish Regiment. Like many other officers, he marched on foot with his men, refusing to ride on horseback. He believed that the trenches would forge a new Ireland, one where Unionists and Nationalists, Protestant and Catholic, could fight side by side and return home as one people. But history had other plans. The 1916 Easter Rising and its brutal aftermath shattered his hopes of unity. While he still held onto his ideals, he knew that the Ireland he dreamed of was slipping away. On the 7th of June 1917, at the Battle of Messines, Redmond led his men over the top, fighting alongside the 36th Ulster Division, men from the very political faction he once opposed. He was hit almost immediately, first in the wrist, then in the leg. As he lay wounded, it was a soldier from the Ulster Division, Private John Meek, who carried him to safety. Despite their efforts, Redmond succumbed to his wounds later that day. He was buried separately from his men in the garden of the Catholic hospice at Locre. The War Graves Commission later offered to move his body, but his widow refused. She wanted him to remain in the care of the nuns who had watched over him. Here we see the very first resting place of Major Willie Redmond, in the garden of the Catholic convent at Locre. This quiet, isolated grave was lovingly tended by the nuns who cared for him. Even the local children would visit, a symbol of the respect and reverence held for him. Just a few months after Redmond's death, on the 21st of September 1917, a deputation from Ireland came to pay their respects. Here we see the High Sheriff of Dublin addressing those gathered at his grave. His presence, along with others from both sides of the political divide, was a reflection of Redmond's dream that Irishmen, regardless of background, could stand together. This is perhaps the most powerful image, a rare moment in history when soldiers from both Northern and Southern Ireland stood side by side to honour a fallen comrade. Protestant and Catholic, Unionist and Nationalist together in tribute. Today, Major Willie Redmond's grave remains just as it was over a century ago, standing alone, yet full of meaning. His dream of unity, forged through shared sacrifice, was never fully realised. The war ended, but Ireland's divisions deepened, leading to events that would reshape the nation forever. And yet, for a brief moment on the battlefields of Flanders, Irishmen fought side by side, not as enemies but comrades. Redmond believed that the war could heal Ireland's wounds. History proved otherwise. But his story and his lonely grave continue to ask a question that lingers to this day. Could it have been different? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Lest we forget. If you like listening to the stories of the history of those who came before, then please give the video a like and subscribe to keep updated about future videos of the history of those who came before.